is up? We are live. It's been a while. What is up? What is up? Um, it's been a while. Let me do a couple things. Make sure everything is all good. Um, I couldn't have been I will say like, what's up, y'all? As y'all can see the time, it is August 14th, 2026. Um, it has been a couple of days since I last streamed. It says 4 days actually, which is been quite a while. Um, I think it's for a reason. Um, I'm 11 streams in, and I think the big thing for me is I want to um, I want to be a little bit more intentional with my streams. So I think that's kind of why everything kind of been hesitant for a while. Um, I want to dive into like other streams, but it just got to make sense, you know. Um, I'm happy where everything is headed right now, as you know. It's great things that's happening. Um, I want to make let's while we here, let's make the update. So, as I always say, every stream I want to have new updates. So we are currently went from 21, now we are at 24 subscribers. That's a great thing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for where I'm at. Um, we're at 24 subscribers. So let me take this picture. All right. This is a big thing. You know, I showed y'all where I was, you know, with 8 subscribers. And you know, with every clip, you know, I make it an effort to just position myself in the best possible way. I think it just let me see here. I think it just speaks to just my grit, my ability, and you know, I think we're not there yet. You know, we gotta obviously get better as just a whole. I wanna just make the best possible content that I can make right now. It's obviously won't get there until I kind of define things that I want to do. Um, um, and you know, just obviously it's just stepping stones. You know, we can't push without, you know, being clear about the things that we're doing. So, the best way that I can possibly think of when it comes to just streaming, or just finding a new direction is we're gonna give like next stream ideas, and I'm gonna stream it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna talk things out in terms of hold on. Let me put this in studio mode. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll do this. Still in stream mode, just so I make sure. make sure everything is good. Make sure the content is good. I'll have to change this, of course, because you won't be able to see. Here, done. Okay. So let's. I don't want to move here. Let me get this other thing. Let me make sure just so that we can. Let me. I don't want people to see that. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Get this, move this here. Boom. All right. All right. So y'all, let's move this to. Oh damn. I made a mistake. Let's see. See, I can't even see it. I can't even see it. Alright. Studio. Alright. We're gonna do that. That's good. Here. Go back. Yeah, man, this is obviously, like I said, another something different. I didn't want to keep talking, so I thought the best thing was to do this. All right, so I want to make sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and show this. It's gonna change a couple of things really quick. All right. So we're going to obviously. This is the next direction in terms of what I want to do. I think what I want to do obviously is I want to get, and these are just ideas. Let's see, ideas. I want to obviously do fitness content. We will actually have to find a gym. I want to do basketball content. I haven't played basketball. In, I think, 4 years? 4 years. Still got that shot. I don't care what anybody say. I want to learn a new language. I think for now it's going to be Spanish. Also, I want to I'm trying to think what else. What else do I want to do? I want to oh, girl content. So girl collabs. Um and then I want to make beats. I want to make my first beat actually. And then hopefully we're gonna do another music beat. And then another one is gonna be a music beat collab with my cousin Ra. Alright. So I do have a cousin that makes beats. I'm gonna probably have to hit him up. I wanna make my first beat. Either we work together on making a first beat. That would be a cool stream. I would wonder how we would be able to do it, because obviously we'll be like FaceTiming each other, so we'll figure that out. Maybe like, I don't know, through Zoom or whatever. We'll figure that out. I'll have to figure that out. So thinking of fitness content. That's gonna be cool. Like I said, I haven't played basketball in 4 years, but I'm pretty confident I really play basketball. So I know that obviously I'm not gonna be the best, but I got a jump shot. Anybody knows, if you got a jump shot in basketball, obviously you'll be alright. Learning a new language, which is Spanish. So obviously it won't be like a project, because it'll be a continuous like sessions. So I would want to obviously do that, whether it's on lives, collabing with other Spanish speakers. I want to learn like Japanese too. I want to learn like, because I like anime. Possibly. But we're not gonna we're not gonna put too much on our plate. Let's just start with Spanish for now. Obviously, because Spanish is like the second most spoken language in the United States. So it's like you should at least want to be knowledgeable, to the sense of like, you know how to at least speak it and communicate with people. So I just want to learn Spanish just for the sake of like, especially if like people like talk behind your back and stuff like that, you don't know what they're saying. So that'll be funny. And then girl collab. So as of now, I don't have like girls that I can bring on. Hopefully that changes. We, obviously I'm in a city. I'm in one of the biggest cities, LA. So I know it's not gonna be hard to find girls to collab with. But that would be cool. So I had to find like obviously things to do, not just sit and just sit around. So um, I want to make my first beat. So I've gotten started on a beat, but I haven't made my first beat. I might want to make my first beat with my cousin, obviously because I'll feel more comfortable like um with him, like I guess teaching me. We'll have to do it on BandLab because BandLab is kind of like an easy interface. I had to hit him up. So I'm gonna try and make that connection with my cousin. I haven't talked to him about it, but I'm pretty sure he'll definitely be on board. You know, he has his own YouTube, so it'll be cool to connect. Um, so I'll look forward to that. Obviously, I would want to get my content game up. So we'll figure those things out. Um, I forgot to mention I want to do IRL streaming. You know, I want to do IRL streaming. So that would obviously have to fit into the fitness content, basketball content. So that would mean finding a cameraman. So I'm not gonna say ideas. I'm gonna just say next direction planning. So finding a cameraman. I think too. I've been hesitant about it, but I think I might have to find like maybe like a maybe a creative director, not in a sense of like always planning out streams, but just somebody that can just get things organized. So either like a creative director slash assistant slash like manager, you know, role. So I want to do that. I want to do those things. Like I said, it's very hard. Like I said, I think had I had my team together, I wouldn't be like not streaming every day, you know? I thought this would be like a cool way to stream because I didn't have like a set thing. I didn't want to just like, oh, let's just start, you know, like I think it would be like misleading if I was just like, yo, let's just start, and you know, it'll be like, all right, where did this come from? So these are all the things that I'm thinking about. I want to do some type of. It's putting pressure on me right now. I'll say it's gonna start with a 24-hour, right? Gonna move to 7 days. Then we'll move to like 7 days to like 30 days. That'll be crazy. But I think if you're gonna do 7 days, then you gotta do like a month, right? So 24-hour stream to 7 day stream. Like a 7 day stream to 1 month stream. Also, another next direction is multi streaming. Yeah. TikTok Live. Obviously, we're already on YouTube Live. And then we're gonna go Twitch. I like Twitch platform. I think my content is very clean. I don't want I'm not sure, like, I think my main platform is obviously gonna be YouTube. But I wouldn't mind Twitch. Twitch is obviously, it is what it is. But I think expanding is also a good thing. So I'm not sure. I just want to do Twitch at this point. And then let everything else fall. So, but I want to do obviously TikTok Live because at this point, nobody knows me. Not expecting people to know me, but it'll be cool. It'll be a cool thing. But I guess the hard thing would be like, because like I think with I'm gonna say multi-chat. I think with streaming, it's a cool thing where you know, you get to see the multiple chats. I'm starting to see that on a lot of other people's lives. So, I think it'll be cool to, I guess, do that. I want to try to, like I said, expand. TikTok Live is going to give me a lot of exposure. Obviously, because of, you know, all I've been doing is I don't have clippers. That'll probably be the next step. Get clippers in the far future. Obviously, that is, and I think my main, I want to say my main objective is converging. Let's put that at the top though. My main objective is, you know, converging the music space, my music career, right, with live streaming, you know. As you all know, like, my music is still my main priority just as much as live streaming. I love live streaming. I think this I honestly I obviously think that live streaming is the next, you know, it's just the next prime TV, you know. It creates a level of visibility that unlike any other, where you're able to clip, you know, the most smallest things. You know, people are clipping TV shows, people are clipping all these things. So attention is everywhere, right? And I think for me it's like, I guess I don't know if I want to go. I think for me, the reason why I want to converge just music and live streaming is because attention is everywhere, right? There's all sorts of things, you know. Music is everywhere. There's over, I want to say 200,000 music songs being uploaded every day, right? Over 200, some crazy stat. And you know, there's clips There's TikTok. Um, it's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. Um, Everything has just been on like a leveling play field, right? Before social media, before all these things, TV was very limited and linear, right? It's very restricted where certain networks had certain access, versus, just the free range to just stream any and everywhere. Um, there wasn't those outlets until like YouTube came around. So now, just bringing it all together, now everything is everywhere. So, with music, I still love making music. I still want to still make my songs, record sessions. I want to do some like a 30-day just in the studio, obviously. Um, so it's not like I don't want to like abandon music, because obviously like that's where I started. Um, I'm not abandoning that to do streaming. I'm kind of wanting to mix the two, because I'm learning that streaming is a newfound passion for me, because I like to inspire, right? I like to just give a perspective, and I just like to have fun. I think I haven't really dug really deep into what I really want to do with streaming. So there's avenues that still has to be expanded to. Um, but for the most part, it's like, you want to have your content days where, you're hooping, or, content days where you're doing fitness, you know, or, you want to have a primary, and I think music is going to always be my primary. I will have, like I say, days where, you know, I make my music, or days where I do just off days, like collabing with a girl, or, just doing like just cool things, I will have, there will be those days. Um, but it'll always tie back to the music, because I love R&B. I still want to make, whatever. I still feel like I have something to give. Now, if it reaches a point where I have nothing to give, then, obviously, um, I have to do what I need to do. But for now, I think I have so much to give in space of music, um, and so I'm gonna still do it. Um, so we just gonna rely on just finding just those little small things. Um, these are, like I said, all things that I'm still looking for. Um, I gotta build my team up, right? I gotta find a cameraman. I gotta find all of these small things, and it would just be bad, like I said, to create content and not like bring you guys in into like obviously there's gonna be surprises and all these things, but I have to like obviously set it up. And I think for a person like me is like, you know, you're essentially running a show, right? You're running a platform, you're running um just things that would need assistance, right? We can all do things by ourselves, but I think true scaling happens when you collab with the people that has um, similar aligned vision. I tried doing it with people that I might have trusted, but it just, like I said, the main thing is you can't push people to the finish line, and you can't push people to a direction that you have a vision for. You just have to find people along the way. And I'm just gonna have to do that, right? I'm gonna just have to do that. I'm gonna have to um, trust people I don't know, which is a very hard direction for me. But I'm not opposed to it. only because, like I said, I want to change my life, and I've always kind of pushed it away of like, all right, no, I want to find somebody I know, somebody I'm familiar. Like, nah, like we're gonna find professional services, and people that have just strong commitment, and my main thing is, I just want to help push this thing forward. If it helps the people that I help along the way, or the people that help me along the way, like I can't obviously accomplish other people's dreams, but if I can be a bridge to them as much as they're a bridge to me, we're working, but like I said, I don't know if I just said it, but I'm looking for people to grow with. So those are the next steps. Obviously, I want to be open with y'all. Oh, I forgot to add. I want video game content. Video game content. That's another thing. I think video game content is going to be a really big part. I know a lot of people. I just want to be as versatile as much as I can. I know a lot of people that do IRL streaming kind of step away. They get so into IRL that they can't do video games. I never want to stem away from video games. I'm not sure if I'll do reactions. It's just not me. It don't. I don't want that to you know. I'm not saying I won't do a reaction, but I just at this point I don't think it aligns with who I am and what I want to become as an artist. Being a critic and an artist. Like I just don't think those two spaces can coexist, right? Because as an artist, you want to support people that, not support people, but respect people that are on that same path as what you're trying to become, right? So, I don't think, no reaction content. Let me see. I'm gonna say no for now. Who knows? So I think, you know, back to video game content. I think I feel like a lot of people get so into IRL streaming because they got, a lot of motion, you got girls, but you want to get back to like certain things. Like video games is what I grew up on, with my brothers, and always like playing against them. It's just what I grew up on, right? Like that's just always been my thing. So we're gonna always stay true to that. GTA's coming out in a couple months. So it's going to be so many things and so many games to play. I want to get better at college football's out. Like I don't play Madden. I like college. I'm a college football type of person. Maybe I get some friends on. Who knows? But there's a lot of things that's in store. I wanted to show y'all like my next direction. Obviously, we're gonna always have the talking content, the inspiration content that's gonna be cool. but I always want to, get into the next direction. So if that means, you know, collabing with a girl, video games, fitness, basketball, like these are all the things that are me. I'm not gonna do something that's not me. Just like reaction content, that's not me. I don't want to sit and, do the crazy gimmicks and like I want to be me. Like I said, it's still gonna be a personality. It's still gonna be, you know, a certain, obviously Josh Chapman, but it's just certain things that I want to keep being authentic. I don't want to say, oh, I want to like be this real. Like everybody knows, once you're on this public platform and you're on this stage for people to see you, there's a certain compromise that the game that everybody has to play. It's just public. Nobody's gonna truly be 100% who they are offline. You'll be a liar to think that you are, and I think a lot of people like, oh, I'm just real. You know what? Like, no. You know, um, but I think the overall thing is I want who I am offline very similar to who I am online, and that's just how I just view things. So, um, like I said, next content is obviously gonna be one of those few things. Um, might add something else in, but obviously, like the offline stuff of finding creatives, finding people that want to have the same vision, that's looking for people to work with behind, that's looking for a cameraman, and all of these good things. Like I'm looking for them, and um, it's just building those relationships, building that network. We're always going to be moving forward. So next stream, might play video games. Next stream, might learn Spanish. Next stream, might uh, make my beat. Who knows? But I will be being true to this list that we wrote out, simply because it's holding me accountable, right? Because I wanted it. The reason why, like I said, why I couldn't stream these next few days is like I don't know what I want to do, right? I don't want to just out the blue just do something and nobody's expected, because the last 10 streams everybody's used to my content, or my speaking. So to just jump to something without alerting anybody is like that's kind of, so it's like I'm keeping you guys in the know. Obviously not to the point where y'all know everything personal, but I'm keeping you guys aware of where I'm moving these things towards. It's not just a certain kind, like I didn't want that, because I was like, once I started creating these contents, and I'm still doing these clips, I still got to put more clips out. I'm like, dang, I'm starting to like get boxed in, and a person like me is like, I don't like to be boxed in, because you know obviously what you're known for is what people are gonna associate you with, so I'm just live my life, IRL, whether I go shopping, whether I go to the mall, whether I go eat, you know, there will be things where, you know, you're going to have people believe in you, You're just going to have people believing in you. And until I started really live streaming, and until I started really understanding and now seeing dang, now we can get people to, jump into our world, and you know, um, understand what we're trying to do, which is kind of hard because it's like a lot of people just don't understand what we're trying to do. Um, and so as long as you guys just work with me, just work with me. Um, y'all are gonna understand a little bit about who Josh Chapman is. And as far as, like I said, connecting just the music world and the streaming world, I think um, I've said it countless of times. Streamers are the new superstars, right? Because you know your the ability to create and at the rate that you can create at surpasses all the contents across TV, across acting, across sports, you know, all of these things, it just needs a level of preparation. And live streaming, you can just start the stream and now you're creating. So that's the beauty of content creation. And I think because you can build your own world, you can create your own show, you can create your own essence. When you're doing these things, everything's intentional. Whether get new merch, talk about business, um, all of these things. So we're gonna do a lot of things and bring on a lot of people, collab with so many people, and it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make it as fun as possible. I'm gonna make it as interesting as possible, inspirational as possible, and it won't be drama. It won't be drama filled. I think I have like the same, just mastermind, and I have help from people that I know, um, that has done production work. So it's things like that where if I get certain people involved, it only takes it to the next level. So um, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, and it's just great because things are just starting to line, and I just saw certain things, and I saw certain opportunities where it's just gonna make things better. So um, once I start getting into a certain groove, um, it's just gonna get better. So I can't wait. Um, it's gonna be a great journey, man. Just looking forward, and all of these things. Like I said, my intention, my goal right now is doing everything, preparing myself. Obviously, I'm not building this platform up just to get an insurance yield. That's not what I'm doing. But everything is me aligning and structuring my platform to put myself in the best possible situation, um, to hopefully be granted an opportunity to get in the stream you. I think if you just put the work in, the time in, and you put in the right essence, and you work with the right people and connect with the right people, you give yourself a good shot. So um, I'm taking this as serious as an actual like business where there's people and corporation, like anything that's like structured. I'm taking it as serious. And right now at this point it's just me, right? It's just me. But this stream should just show you where the vision is, and obviously where I want to take you into my world and show you who I am just as who I am, but then really just flourishing, in a space like this. Like, accolades don't mean anything to me. I want people to know that right now. I want people to know right now. When I get to a point where I guess people will be like, oh, top streamer, or like all, like I'm not, I don't want, I want people to understand this right now. I'm not looking for any recognition at any point, you know, where like, oh, I'm top five. Like I don't, like those things might, you know, those things might help others, or give it people, certain, but it doesn't matter. The What matters to me is the vision that I can put out into the world. That's all. Things that I have initially in my heart, and to put it out on a platform. This is my championship. This is my Grammy. This is my um NBA ring. Like, is being able to come up with a project and putting it out into the world, for people to be inspired by, to people to laugh at, be entertained by. Like, this is my space, no pun intended. But it's just my platform to like really showcase a lot of things. Like I said, it's not gonna be like the above and beyond of like, I don't want this to turn into a circus show where it's just you know like, it's gonna be what it is. Like, I'm not gonna be like, it's just gonna be my world. Literally just Josh Chapman, whether I'm IRL streaming, whether I'm going shopping. Like I said, being who I am, playing like I love basketball. So like, I haven't played in 4 years, but you know, obviously because like I said, it's there. When I was playing basketball in the past, like, I was like, man, I had these hoop dreams, and like, and so ever since I had stopped having hoop dreams, it's like there was never an incentive. Like, I stayed in shape, like I was really fit. Like, I think now, like, in terms of like my body shape, like the reason why I want to do fitness is because I want to obviously improve my internal health, my physical health, spiritually, mentally, physically, but then just fix on work on maintain my body. Like, I think health is important, and exercise is something that should always be prioritized, because it's I won't say it's free to exercise, but um you know there's no downside to exercising, because it only brings you positive things. Now, there's a thing like over exercising, you don't want to do that, but just maintaining the balance, right, of prioritizing your health, and just knowing that 95% of people in coming in contact with certain diseases because of their way of life, of how they eat their foods, lack of exercising, and all these things, like things that we can prepare ourselves and position ourselves for the best possible thing. So why not want to take care of your health? Prevention before cure. Don't wait till your health is at a declining space to now take things serious. Some things might just be irreversible. So it's like, you want to just make sure you're doing the right things health wise, um, to live a longer life. So we doing those things. We gotta just and then take care of our mental. I believe in meditation too. I think meditation is so important. See, I I know, like, I'm talking a lot right now, but meditation to me is like one of the best things that a person can come in contact with, right? And I don't mean like the meditation where you're like just humming and like, I mean like a meditation where there's just music in the background, right? Like, YouTube has a lot of like meditation music where you could just, you can just be at peace, and then you just, let everything kind of marinate, but then just like, you're just there, and you're letting all of the chaos, all these things, and you're just letting it flood your mind. But then you're just analyzing it, and in that space you create a level of clarity within yourself, so that you can find a little, you can find a little bit more peace in whatever you're going through. Meditation's free. You know, you know, it's not a thing that you have to pay for. Like a lot of the things in life that are valuable that we take for granted is free. And we can't keep ignoring just the 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 advantages and the things that we really take for granted, like even something as simple as having the freedom to live. Some certain countries don't have that ability. So be grateful, be thankful that you can live freely, because some people don't have those privileges. So um I just say just take advantage, and so in all things. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I feel great about just this stream because there was just so much where for myself it was like, dang, I don't know if I wanna, what I mean? I just didn't know if I wanted to be this vulnerable in terms of like not knowing what I want to do. Because after the 10th stream, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And it was a little confusing, where I wasn't happy where I was, so I had to take 3-4 days off because it's like, yo, we gotta know what we gotta do, So now that you just stack these streams up, I just seen somewhere, shout out to LaRussell, the rapper. He said rep 1 isn't rep 1,000. I think a lot of people be so focused on the output. I feel like a lot of people be so focused on the quality instead of the output. And sometimes, yes, what you put out matters. But if you can prioritize a level of output as in the same space of just refining it, you know, I would take 70% quality at a high quantity rather than 90% quality at a low quantity, because as I said, the world is moving at a fast rate. Everybody is competing for attention. And when you're putting out stuff that is very quality, but if you go days without putting out content, everybody's gonna forget you. So it's all about, at this rate for me and others that aren't discovered, is putting yourself out there for people to see, and they'll see the vision, because it doesn't have to be all together right now. That's what I took from all of these things right now at this point. Don't got to be all together. Just keep continuing and let things fall where they may, and you get yourself a position to do great things. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create this direction. We'll keep doing things. Like I said, I want to make groundbreaking things where, y'all see Josh Chapman at a high clip, So I can't wait for y'all to see it. And we're just going to keep creating, keep converging, and keep believing. So that's it for now. I appreciate you.